Hurst meet Venom. Let's get it. YouTube, what is going on? This is your boy Chris right here, and today we're going to be working on the 1998 Mustang Cobra Venom, and we're going to be putting a short throw shifter in this car, and it is about damn time. And clearly, from seeing the intro, you guys know that I went with a Hurst shifter, and the particular one that I went with was the Ford Performance Hurst shifter, or shifter Hurst, and it's for the T5 and T45 transmissions. So let's just dive into this box and see exactly what we have. And first and foremost, what you can see, we got the Hurst shifter. This is a nice unit. I mean, what more can you ask from it? It's got all the things you need. It feels a great quality, and I mean, for performance, you know, they do a good job. Next thing we got going on in here are accessories. For the T45, you need the spacer compared to the T5, which you don't need. I don't know why, but we got all the necessary hardware that we got in this packaging. Some quick tools, if I can find her. I think they're somewhere down here. Nope. It's a scraper. Personally, I got the scraper at Advance Auto, and it has plastic blades. You're going to want to use a plastic one just because the transmission's aluminum. You don't want to gouge up that aluminum up. Unless you got a razor blade just for just your fingers, not using the actual whole scraper unit. Just use plastic ones, in my personal opinion. I mean, I would just rather recommend that than tell you use the metal and you gouge it and then you leak, which is no good. So we got the scraper, and the rubber mallet is really going to be to try and get the old shifter out of the transmission, because usually it got stuck nice and tight. You can either pull up or try and wiggle it. Yeah, you know, it really depends. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So a little persuasion, and we're going to call that good. So the first thing you're going to want to do is turn your car on and then put the clutch in and send it. Nah, so really the first thing that you're going to want to do when you do this little shifter, swap, removal, switch, first thing, make sure, I mean, I guess you don't have to put on neutral, but shifter knob is the first thing that's got to come out. So you got to twist to the left and hey, yo! This is one thing we're not going to be using anymore. Holy, bye-bye. Next thing you want to do, so you kind of want to take your fingers and kind of grab the bottom of the bezel and just pull it towards you and a little bit up. Like a simple 1-2. Oh, up. Simple 1-2. And there you go. Shifter bezel is out. This one didn't pop out like I wanted, but we're going to get it right out. We're going to get it right out. There we go. And then something you want to do, people are going to tell you, hey, disconnect that battery. Don't worry about it. We got a little cigarette port for electrical, and it's going to be connected with a wire. So you kind of want to just bring this out a little bit and disconnect that, which is pretty easy. You know, something that I forgot to mention because I'm a complete jerk. I also got from LMR, I actually got the gasket for the shifter, and as well as a small cup that goes to the shift point, or the lever point, which is inside of the transmission and under the whole shifter. So taking out the cigarette lighter, port, volt, output, there's a tab in the back. You're gonna want to just click it in, if I can somehow do it in this cold weather. And I just had it at one point. Click it in, like so, and just pull it out. There you go. And then take the boot with the bezel, twist her off, and here we go with these. And now we're here looking at our shifter. We got this boot we need to take out. We also have the lever of the shifter to take out with 2 bolts. And just to run around with the bolts, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. So real quickly, before I use any kind of power tools, I just want to show that you can really do this with just basic hand tools, but the little power tool and all I got will make life easy. So I'm gonna show you guys. Wait, where's my ratchet? Oh shit, it's up my ass. So I mean, hey yo, what the f? So I mean, you can really do this with basic hand tools. 3/8 ratchets will help. 2 bolts here, gonna be 10 mils. That's what I got right now. And all I gotta do is loosen these up. And something that I want to point out, We also have this little rubber gasket right here, which tells me that one of the little gaskets I have that came with my little kit, I'm going to use on that new shifter. Shifter comes right out. And it looks like it might be attached also with this boot. So, yep, it's a little bit on with the boot as well. I'm going to take out these bolts and, well, actually, wait. No, it isn't. Boom. Next, we got to take care of the 4 bolts to take this shift boot out. And I kind of want to say they're 8. So let's go with 8. That's a 7. What the? Where's my 8, dude? And then our shifter boot should pop right out. Mind you, it's going to be stuck there because this is rubber, and then there's a lot of heat that goes to the transmission. So it's going to bound the stick a little bit. Just kind of get your fingers in there. Cut yourself a couple times. There we go. A little twisty action, and we're gonna get it right out. Shifter boot removed. Oh, look at that bad boy in there. We got a little bit of leakage, so that's good to know. Next thing we got, 4 bolts on the shifter. So now is a somewhat trickier part, and we're really gonna want to try and get this shifter out of the transmission. Sometimes a little wiggle and pull and all that kind of BS. I mean, this is usually the most difficult part, to be really honest. I mean, I'm literally moving the whole tranny. Press the pry bar, and then I don't know where I'm gonna pry from this, but I mean, it's got to be somewhere. Let's try here. She's wiggling, and there she is. And this usually gets stuck the way it is because of the RTV that's from factory. And I mean, you can like put your own RTV after, but I'm using the gaskets. Boom. And easy come, easy go. Here we have it. Our shifter. Try to just get it nice and slowly out. See, we got some RTV still kind of stuck there. Hopefully I can see that. And here we are. Here's our shifter. There's 2 things I kind of want to look at as far as getting a little deeper dive into here. So clearly we have some RTV, which we're going to have to scrape out. But one of the little extra accessories that I got from LMR is this little cup. And this cup simply comes right out with ease. And basically this cup kind of gives it better for the shifter to the metal to be nice and smooth, I want to say. But when this inside wears up a bit, it gets wider. So it can be, I guess, lacklustering for the shifts. So just having a new one in here means the inside diameter of this is going to be tighter, which in the long run could be smoother and crispier shifts. So now we got to take some of this gasket off, and I'm going to basically want something to go inside this little part of the transmission so all the gasket material doesn't fall right in. The simplest thing you can use is a microfiber towel. And I mean, microfiber, they usually don't leave a lot of lint. 1, and 2, when things stick on here, it's literally just the best to use in my opinion. So I'm going to just kind of shove this kind of in here. Next thing is just grab your plastic scraper and start scraping. And since it's plastic, you can go as hard as you want. If I'm really being honest, brake cleaner comes a long way too. It'll eat this rubber or gasket right up. So I'm just about finishing up here. I've been at this about like 10 minutes. And if I can be really honest, this is going to be the most time consuming part of the whole shifter installation because it's just one of the big pain in the rear ends. I'll be really honest. But I've been using this plastic scraper, and I ditched the whole handle and whatnot because it just wasn't really, you know, helping me out. So sometimes with your fingers is the best way. And then as you can see that we got everything literally on this microfiber towel. Everything should literally stay on the towel. So I'm going to pull this all slowly. I got a little bit of pieces in there, which I can maybe vacuum out. But for the most part, so go up in here, come out a bit. We barely got anything in there, which is nice. There we go. Still got a little teensy-weensy bit, but on the edge right here. What I'm going to do is just grab a little vacuum, come in here real quick, and just suck all that out. Hey, yo! So basically how it's going to go is you got the bolts go right through here with the washers. We're going to have a gasket. Then we're going to have the spacer on top of the gasket. And then the gasket under this spacer, which is on the transmission. So let's actually just bundle that up together so we can see how it looks. Here's literally the gist of how we're going to have this installed. We got the gasket, spacer, gasket. This is all going into the transmission. And let's not forget, we got the cup to still install as well. First things first, we got our little cup. That's gonna go right in here. So, cup, literally right in the hole where you took the old one out. And that's that installation. That's literally it. That's simple. Now we're gonna get the shifter positioned and ready to go in. So I have all the bolts like in place, and I'm just gonna try and hold the gasket with everything. And I should be able to start screwing in some of these bolts, because all I gotta do is this. And sometimes the trickiest part is getting the ball right into the cup. And I think that's, boom, cup is right there. This is literally ready to go in. Now we need to adjust these little studs, and these studs are kind of our point for when we do aggressive shifting from first, second, third, and fourth. We don't do damage to the transmission by going too hard or going too ham. That's simple. All you do is loosen the nuts on the studs, kind of bring the studs close, and let's do this one first. And we really just want to shove this in second gear, make sure it's in there. So go first, second, just to make sure. We got to put this stud all the way in, make sure that doesn't get in our way. It's got to touch right about there, so it's touching the shifter, right, or the lever. And then we want to turn this a half a turn, and that should be easy, just really like so. And to me, that's about a half a turn, maybe right around there. It's about a half a turn, give or take. We're gonna tighten this nut, make sure it's secure. Got a little adjustable wrench, snug right in there, and that's that. Boom, we got ourselves our point there. And do the same thing, but put this in third. So here's neutral, right? And then if that's first, we're gonna go here, neutral, straight up's third, and really do the same thing. See if I can get all the gears in. Could be me, but I know I got that bottom one good, because even when we got through all the gears, it's like really touching right on it. So I want to say the stops are good. Maybe this, I'm not feeling it going to gear, I more or less feel it hitting the stud. So let's adjust that a little bit, and that should be good there. I think that should be a lot better. Let me see. Looks good to me. I think that's where we're at right now. Now we're really just on the final stretch. So, with that being said, the boot that came with the shifter goes back on, so no dust gets in the way of any of these components in the inside. So you really want to try and get it over with a stud and everything. Followed by the original shift boot. That's still going to go right over. And we're going to snug it back in. That's in. I'm not liking how fifth gear kind of feels right now. So I mean, here's the general reality of actually doing things. Everything's not perfect, which is okay. So as I was putting everything together and I was feeling all the shift points and whatnot, I kind of noticed that it was kind of going into fifth a little awkwardly. So with the moment of doing that, I decided to take everything apart and take a look really at this upper stud that I had did the half turn earlier. And when I went to loosen it, it was not even a half turn out. So always be sure just to double check your points instead of putting everything together and having to take it apart anyway when you go for the first drive. We're going to be putting the bezel back in, and something that I want to mention to you guys is, so ideally you put the bezel back in, right? And what it'll tend to do is kind of pull the entire boot, you know, on the top of the shifter to get a little factory look. Reality, once you click everything in my opinion, it looks really ugly. So there's this little, I guess, ring that I'm going to actually address and pop out, so I can make sure that my Hurst logo is visual and everyone can see it. I mean, I think that's one of the best things to do. So after some minor persuasion with a flathead, I got the bushing out, and now we can basically see our nice Hurst shifter, or at least the logo on the Hurst shifter. Let's not forget our little plug for our cigarette lighter, and then we're ready to just pop it right in, and there we have it. Last step is our retainer nut. We're gonna put it right in here, our shift knob, tighten it up like so. We gotta get a little wrench, tighten her up snug, And there we have it. After our little cleanup, here we have the final product, which is our Ford Performance Hurst shifter. And roughly just to get around something, I actually used a little bit of the old bushing that was on it, and I kind of just cut a little piece and stuck it right in the boot and was able to get it to where this doesn't move at all. This shifter so far feels great, very springy, very active, and you know, I can't wait to just use this. I can't wait. If you guys find this video very enjoyable and helpful in any kind of way, be sure to leave a like, and don't forget, if you want to see more of me, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, and as well as ring the notification bell. It's going to be helping me out. And until then, it's your boy Chris Ryan. I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.
Préndele, dos cachas y sube pa' la nube. Deja que ella te arrebate, pero no la maltrate. No es simplemente una mata. Préndele, dos cachas y sube pa'